What's good? It's Pastor Chris back at you one more time. We're just getting ready to get into our first topic, our first relationship title, and it's entitled, Where Have All the Good Men Gone? Where have all the good men gone? Where is the Michelle Obama, the Jay-Z, the Beyonce? How did we get to the Chris and Rihanna, or how did we get to the Rihanna and Drake? How did we get to those particular places? In the office with me is Miss Victoria Barnett. Miss Barnett, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Also, our moderator for the evening is Dr. Binion. Dr. Binion, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. She is our mistress of ceremony. She'll be asking us questions. She is our moderator for the evening. So, we're going to kick this thing off. And before we start on asking where have all the good men gone, I feel that it's only probable to see where our minds are on relationships. So, Victoria, if you don't mind.
Okay, so when I think of a relationship, I think of someone that I could build a future with, long term.
Okay.
Someone who I could just have common interests with and share my deepest darkest secrets to. A best friend.
Okay, cool. All right, Dr. Bean, since we have you in the facility, how do you feel about relationships?
For me, relationship, even into a friendship, for me, is something that's very covenant. It's something that's very important. You can't just take anybody on as your friend. So when I take you on as my friend or my confidant, I choose to share with you things that nobody else knows.
Okay.
So we have to have a really close relationship. Somebody that I can trust, somebody that is going to pray with me and I can pray with them, somebody that's going to show strength in order for me to be able to submit, because you can't submit to just anybody. And somebody that's loyal, somebody that's going to be there for support, and somebody who's consistent in their actions and with their words, somebody who's good at following through, I guess.
Okay.
How about you?
Relationships for me, I believe that in relationship, the man and the woman must be whole first before entering into a relationship or a covenant with somebody for a lifetime. I really hate the whole quote, that's my better half. Because if that's your better half, when something happens or you go through hard times, that person is only half and not whole, which only leaves you with half if you're not completely whole. So instead of having 50-50 and making 100, I believe that both the male and the female should both be 100, giving 200% solely to God, to their relationship, and staying committed to the commitment.
So they should be a whole half.
There should be a whole half. I like how you said that.
I'm not mad at that.
A whole half.
Shout out to Pastor Russell for the whole half.
Pastor Russell, what it is. Shout out for being committed to the covenant by Pastor A.D. Thank you, brother, for that word. All right.
Okay, well, I guess we'll get into some questions that were submitted via Facebook.
Okay.
And the first question was, how can you communicate effectively with your significant other? Victoria?
Okay, communication is I would say the biggest step to building a relationship. Not so much to say as to check in with your partner, but to just effectively communicate, which is means just letting them know how your day was or what you have going on tomorrow, not necessarily checking in. Would be the first key to build a good relationship.
Same.
Building a relationship on communication. I feel that in order to communicate, we must both be in a place to talk. And let's just be honest, most men have problems with communicating. So therefore, if we have problems with communicating, I feel that it's important that you get us on the topic and have us in a place where we can actually open up and have open dialogue with our women, or with the person that is supposed to be our mate, or what have you. So let's just change up the vibe or whatever. You said check in. That sounds so cliche-ish. It sounds so um, marriage type, and most men are not looking for that marriage type when you talk about checking in off top. Maybe.
But to begin a good relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have some type of communication.
Some type, yes, I believe.
I didn't say check in. I said not to say check in, but some way of communicating. Just letting them know how your day was, or letting them know what's going on, like what you got going on for the week.
Oh, okay, check in.
Like that.
Okay.
Not so checking. Oh, baby, I'm over here with my homeboys. I'm gonna be over here at the studio. No, I don't need all that. Just let me know how you're doing.
Oh, okay. Check in.
Let's try.
Pounds, right. All right. That's
Okay.
cool. That's cool.
All right. Well, question number 2: define dating from a man and woman's perspective.
Man and woman's perspective.
Man,
so I guess
you take
I go first or whatever. Dating for a man's perspective, I feel that the man is looking for, can I tolerate her?
Wow.
Okay.
Can I
Wow.
tolerate her? Does she meet my tolerance level?
No name.
No hands.
And I can say that's the same thing for a lady looking to in a relationship. Can he be my future husband?
True.
But see, this is where we get stuff construed because maybe we're looking for two different things.
Right.
I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a man is looking for, can I tolerate her? Maybe sometimes a woman turns a man off because he's looking for getting to know. What she's looking for is, this my husband? So our time barriers are now different because we begin to say, I want to spend time with her, and in that time, I'm not putting a time limit on how long it takes. Whereas a woman is saying, look, my biological clock is ticking, so by this time, I need for him to have this, that, and the third, and he has to be this, that, and the third for me to say that I'm in a dating relationship, not married, to this person. So this is what they need to have. Do you agree, disagree? Am I wrong?
I can agree with you to a certain extent.
Okay.
I agree that some women put a time frame on certain biological clock. For instance, of course, if your clock is running out, you 37, you're gonna be 40 having a child.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, nothing's wrong with it. My mother did it.
The risk push you
it's health problems. Yeah.
For health issues when it comes to things of that nature, or complications. That's why when we say, well, my clock's ticking, and most of y'all be wanting to have a tribe of children, a tribe of little yous, you want to be John and Kate plus 8. You want to do that, but, you can't start having 8 kids at 40,
Not at all.
That's one a year. You pushing 50, with an 8-year-old.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, God's timing is just important as making sure that it's the right season to be productive and produce. And I feel like a lot of times we put standards and limits on the time because of biological clocks. But God may be saying that just because your biological clock says this is what I'm saying. So maybe it takes a little while longer for the man to say, I do, because he's still getting himself together, where most females are already together. And now she's like, what's up? I'm waiting on you, and I'm getting tired of waiting. I believe that's where we have the most situations and problems.
I mean,
I can agree with that.
I'm going to agree with it. Yes, I'm going to get tired of waiting. Right. I'm not going to.
But see,
should you have to wait 15 years for a man to get ready?
Well, apparently I'm going to have to.
You're going to have to, man.
But wait, ladies, hold on. But see, when you rush and you wait, you don't birth your promise. You birth an Ishmael.
All right.
So if you birthed an Ishmael, that means you did something out of your own timing, which means you birthed baggage instead of blessings.
I feel you. Okay, I'll take that.
All right. So in due timing, you have to make sure that what you birthing is in the right season.
Okay, but at the same time, would a man wait on a woman for that long?
If he's really working on himself, I feel that a man is. But sometimes it don't always work like that. Let's just be honest, because some men are still playing the field.
True.
So they're still trying to figure out, can I tolerate? Can I see myself? Can I do this, that, and the third? Yada, 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 yada. When you all are saying, I'm getting myself together, I'm working on my relationship with God because this is what I want to have. I'm career oriented, da, 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 da. By this time, this had to be this, and this had to be this. And if my man or whoever God sends me ain't to this level, then it's a whole nother barrier. So that's my argument on that.
Okay. All right.
Next question.
Well, let's move on to the next question. Where has the loyalty in relationships gone?
I'm gonna let you start, Scott. Where has the loyalty in relationships gone?
Well, I have a family member who's having some trouble with a relationship on loyalty with her and her partner, and they tend to put more of their loyalty, I'm noticing, into Facebook on the relationship. Like he said something on someone else's picture, likes another picture of a girl. She finds out, and then what is he supposed to do? Say unlike? But yet she can comment on someone's picture, say happy birthday, and then he can just go off the wall. So I think that people's relationships are Facebook statuses now.
That's a good argument. I can't lie about that. That's a good argument. I really believe that's a great argument. This is what I feel. If you don't mind me, I'm sorry.
You can go ahead.
Loyalty is a big issue or whatever, but I feel that the reason there's so many problems in loyalty is because we have trust issues. Like you said, you know what I'm saying, we find out about Facebook or whatever, because we've been hurt so many times in our previous relationships, because we say we're going into our new situation or our new relationship, trusting that person with our hearts, trusting that person with our minds. We have not fully let go of the person who came before them, so therefore we already go in with the barrier, saying, look, you know what I'm saying, I trust you, but only to a certain extent. So therefore, loyalty is already broken up at that particular point because of what took place in the past. So in order for us to rid ourselves of the past, we must build a foundation right now that's saying, look, I'm going to give you a small rope, and I'm going to see what you're going to do with that rope. All right, tomorrow I want to see if you're going to meet me here at this time and see if you're going to be on time.
And when that tie into communication, though?
Huh?
Will that tie into communication?
It could tie into communication. You're absolutely correct. But it's not necessary. But see, it could either tie into communication or it could tie into spending time with. Because if I spend a lot of time with you, even if I don't communicate, I know when something's wrong or right with you.
Correct.
Because I know you. When I first see you, I say, hey, due to your body language and the time we spend with one another, I can ask the question, what's wrong with you? What happened in your day that I need to see what's up? You know, what do I need to pay attention to if I'm asking those questions? But even if I don't ask those questions and I stay still, I still be able to tap into if you're hungry, if you are in need, and what your wants are because of the time I spent. Now it's with communication. So that's my belief on that.
I just want to say I'm going to have to disagree with you right there because body language is a form of communication.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
but we was talking about verbal communication.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to dab my sister right, well, my brother right there. I'm gonna have to dab my brother.
You see they ain't showing their faces though, right? You see that though, right? I'm the only one in screen.
It is
That's cool. That's cool.
We got some bad hair day actually going on.
But
body language is a form of communication. Most men choose not to pay attention to a woman's body language.
Okay.
And regardless of whether or not your woman says nothing is wrong with her, you know if she's huffing and puffing or got her hand on her face and she just leaning, you know something's wrong with her. What are you doing to soothe it though?
What's wrong with you? Nothing.
Really, what's wrong with you? Aside from just asking, what are you doing?
What's really going on? Drizzy back up in this thing, I'm ready. What's happening?